Would you believe that in my long life, it wasn't until about a year ago that I got my first pedicure, right? I don't know where you stand. You know, if you're old school, maybe you believe that guys shouldn't even have that sort of thing done. Maybe you're new school. Maybe you're neutral. I don't know. But for me, it's been acceptable for a long time. In the beginning, I had my qualms about it, right? I was always cool with having my fingernails in good order, but I wasn't the type to give serious consideration to getting my feet done. And that gradually changed a long time ago. But again, even once I had made the decision that it was okay, many years would pass before taking action. And in fact, I'll tell you what the catalyst was. I was out one night and I saw a guy. He was well put together. Cool looking dude. He had sandals on. His feet were done. And he was with this woman. She looked good, right? So I'm looking at her and I'm looking at him. And I'm like, it fit. I'm making this association like, okay, put yourself together real tight and then you attract this. Now, obviously, that was an oversimplification. They could have been together for any number of reasons. And it's not necessary to have your feet done to pull a woman. We know this. But still, I was overcome with a bit of sensationalism, and at that moment, I was like, 1 + 1 is 2, right? So the point I'm making is that's when I saw it in a different light, right? He had masculinized it, right? Because he didn't look like, he looked like a guy's guy, but just really clean, down to the feet. Let me add that in. That was the point. It's the fact that it was down to the feet. And growing up, exploring clothes, fashion, and looking good, there was always the concept of looking good outside, but even inside. Like if you could jump back 3 layers, what does the inside look like? And I'm not talking about your soul. I mean, undergarments, hygiene, like how deep is your clean? And this person that night embodied that. And I was sold. So again, many years would pass before actually taking action. But about a year ago, one summer morning, I was preparing for a family barbecue. And I said, you know what? I'm showing up with my feet done. I was like, yeah, I need that. I need that clear polish on mine. And I went and I had it done. And the whole experience was good. Now, I'm not one who really falls for the full pamper thing because I'm not really like I'm not a high maintenance guy. Like, yeah, I'm particular about how my clothes come together, but I'm not one who believes in like putting all these butters and creams on my face and all of this. Like, I'm not fussy and I'm a skeptic. So even when you try to sell me on a process, I'm not one who looks at a process and is like, hey, I need that because I'm going to look different, feel different, right? So I'm not that guy. But I must say it did feel good. But for me, more the aesthetic part, not so much the pampering. But I mean, anyway, man, they started like, scraping and grating and pushing cuticles back and clipping things that I didn't know could be clipped. It was good. And the lady was talking to me the whole time. She was trying to sell the experience. Did it work? I don't know. But my feet felt good in that warm water. You know what I mean? And she clipped me up, polished me, dried me up real quick. And I threw on these sandals. And it felt good, man. I showed up really feeling good from head to toe. Fellas, we have been missing out. If you haven't done this, this is one thing I recommend. If you're trying to attain like that fully put together look and feel, you got to try this, because I'm one who's always searching for a way to get that edge, that finality. I like to make things click. So when I find a process that really satisfies that, or a product, that really satisfies that need to make something click, I'm all in. So my first time was about a year ago. I actually haven't been back. But I can see this becoming like a regular part of my life. Like, yeah, the pedicure, for sure. I'm all in. So let me know, man. Am I late to the party? Has everyone been getting pedicures? Am I some type of heathen for just finally sticking my foot into the pool?